Hey everyone, Jan here, and I am going to be telling you my initial thoughts, or more likely my first impressions of Goblin Slayer. As you can see, the guy in the middle there, he is what is known as the Goblin Slayer. He's kind of famous, but not really in a good way, because this is set in a world where kind of like real life RPG, like Danmachi or Sword Art Online, that sort of thing. But there's no like stats. Well, there are stats, but they don't really refer to them as stats. It's just natural, it's like something natural that they have, like magic and dungeons and monsters and all that. And there's a ranking system, which goes from porcelain, which is the lowest, to platinum, which is the highest. Then going down will be gold and silver, and that's where the Goblin Slayer come in, because he is a silver adventurer, and that's why he kind of is mocked for being a silver adventurer, because as you can see, his name is Goblin Slayer, and I'm like, oh boy, why would he be called the Goblin Slayer? And you exactly right. All he does is basically kill goblins. As of this video, there's only 8 chapters so far, but I think in a few days the next one's gonna come out, so I'm gonna be right on top of it, because I really love this. That's basically my thought. It is awesome. This guy slaughters goblins for a living. He hates goblins. All he ever thinks about is strategies, traps, like their hideouts, anything. If you ever wanted to know so much about goblins and wanted to see them so murdered, brutally murdered, because of what they do, like they're just such disgusting things. Like, there's a lot of violation that will go from here and there, and this guy just beginning adventurers always get the crappy armor, the rusty armor, the wooden armor and stuff like that. Well, that's exactly what he wears. And I like that because he uses this armor as a way to make himself nimble and quick and less noticeable in the dark. It's very smart. He's a very, very strategic and very smart guy. And powerful at that. But, I mean, can't really say powerful because all he does is slays goblins. Indeed, the Goblin Slayer. You guys have got to read this. You will love it. And it just started out last year. Well, it first actually started out as a light novel, and this is a manga adaptation that I'm reading, which just started also last year, shortly after the light novel. Volume 1 hasn't come out yet, but I think it is set to come out in April, and as soon as that date comes, I am going to nab it, because this took me by surprise. I thought this was just gonna be kind of dull, since it seems like it was just gonna revolve around goblins and not like big adventures with parties and stuff like that. But no, I got really surprised. This is something different. This is not your typical RPG setting type manga. This is something different. It is hilarious. It made me laugh, kind of how because he sometimes has kind of like sarcastic remarks, but he's not really sarcastic at all, but it kind of seems that way towards goblins all the time. And it's awesome. Not a bit gory, but that's no problem with that. I mean, it's goblin blood. I mean, let there be showers of goblin blood. I am now a goblin hater all the way. Once you get to the story, you will understand why. You will be with him. You will start a movement to support him in slaughtering all the goblins. You will really get that hooked. This surprised me, and I am going to be on top of this now. Completely blew me away. It's finely drawn. It is very in-depth characters, and you don't really, and like, instead of characters past being shown to you through time. Like right there, like in the second or third chapter, bam, you get the Goblin Slayer's past of why he hates him, and just like that, you get convinced that you're a Goblin Slayer too. You want to be one. It's very. It can be like, there's no pacing problem, because it just point A, point B. This happens. Fight here. More explaining about goblins here, strategies, guild here, mission here. It's kind of like that. It's kind of a point A to point B, like kind of direct. And I wish it could be a little open, but I know, but it's only the 8th chapter so far, so it's not like I'm expecting. I shouldn't be expecting as much. That's what I should be saying. It's only chapter 8, and maybe it won't be so linear, like point A to point B in the story, but it is very in-depth. Like, you'll love it. Like, as soon as you stopped watching this, if you did, which I appreciate it, you have to look this up and read it. Just putting Goblin S on the search engine will automatically put Slayer, and it'll put you like on sites to read it immediately. And if you want to purchase the light novel, volume 1 is available of the light novel if you want to get into that, which I am going to look forward to buying at some point. Also, along with the manga when it comes out. I know I just pretty much praised this, and it doesn't really have any cons, just all pros. Awesome art, awesome story, awesome character, Goblin Slayer. Really, just... It just blew my mind. It's not what I expected whatsoever. Just check it out. Before I lose my mind here, I'm kind of getting blank because I kind of overwhelmed myself again. So those were my initial thoughts, first impressions of Goblin Slayer. Thanks for listening to my nonsense. See ya.